What up, what up, what up, my people from all over the world? Welcome back to the show. And for everybody who's first time tuning in, please like, share, subscribe. Okay, on this episode, the Game Bangers Near Death Experience, I'm going to keep it in Eagle Watts right there in Century and Prairie. That's the area where, like I said, I dwell. That's the area I've been shot at. That's the area where I lost homies at. That's just the area that's like the centerpiece for that section over there, considered Eagle Watts. A lot of things go on there. A lot of things that happen to other peoples that I will not speak on. Like I said, there's a lot that's took place on that corner right there. That those four intersections right there. It is even crazier now because they're building so much stuff up over there. But on this this particular day right here, they go back to 1987. Also, yeah, this is 87. Now, this was before. This was before. Damn, I'm thinking this was before Keldog died too. See, there's so much stuff that happened in that year, 87, on that section right there. But anyway, one day we was over there, and like I said, we used to always try to catch people slipping at the McDonald's over there. And people try to catch us slipping as well. One day, these dudes pull up over there, blood dudes, they pull up in the McDonald's, and while dude is in the drive-thru, he try to send two cats down the street. So we noticed these dudes walking down Century. We at the airport motel across the street over here. So we noticed these two dudes walking down the street. They got the Gilligan hats on. They trying to blend in like neutral colors or whatever. And we just happened to walk to the front of the motel out here. And, and as always, you see these cats over there, like, we give it up. Nigga, what that Raymond like? And, you know, boom. And then they look over there and they just like hesitated for a minute. You know what I mean? They hesitated, like froze. And then they just like start walking back towards McDonald's. As they start walking back towards McDonald's, they turn around like this and just start busting. Blue, blue. So now we seeing them, and the fact that they running that way, our approach is we finna start running across the street. Century, I'm trying to run up on these niggas now. So we start trying to run across the Century. That's when he got down like this, boom. So now, of course, man, we step back on the sidewalk. We step back on the sidewalk. He running like this. One of the bullets, though, I kid you not, one of these bullets just like soared over my head. It just like, you just heard it, and it hit the door. The door of the airport motel, like it's one of them swing doors. You walk in, it's like boom. So it hit the door, and the whole door just swung, king, king, like some stuff you see in a movie. And they're like, whoa. Then they ran back up in the McDonald's, jumped in somebody's car, and peeled up out of there. You know what I mean? But it's just this is how people bust. This is, I mean, this is one of the reasons that I'm still here as well. Of course, God want me still here because that's why I'm here. So I ain't gonna even say that. But still, you know, you busting like that, your back turned, you shooting like that across a busy street, mind you. This Century Boulevard. You shooting on that side of the Century. I'm on this side of the Century. You on the side where McDonald's is at. You shooting across the street, so them bullets could have hit any passing cars and all that. You know what I mean? So you see, this is the stupidity in the sense. Well, I ain't gonna say in the sense it is, but it's just like the recklessness of game banging and just out of just shooting. You're not even really paying attention to what you're shooting at. You shooting at me over here, but you got your back turned, you shooting like this. You just letting bullets fly. Just so happened one flew over my head, hit the door. I heard it, boom. And it's a trip because we pulled the slug out later. It was like about a 44 or something like that. It was a big ass slug. It was like, damn, that could have just blew the whole dome up. I would have been it. I would have been gone then too. But still, people just running doing stuff like that. That's reckless. You could just hit any innocent bystander. That's why so many innocent bystanders then got killed out here behind gang violence, because people doing stuff like that, just, you know, just running busting, just like not even looking, not even paying attention. But you just want to bust. You just want to squeeze that trigger. You want to squeeze that trigger and let the homies see you squeeze that trigger. That's where you gonna get your name from. They know you bust. But then the real cat gonna recognize you. That was some weenie shit you did. You busting with your back turned like this. You could have hit any innocent bystander. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Gang bangers supposed to stay within gang bangers. It's like you got an issue, you got to get issue with another gang banger. These innocent bystanders and non-affiliates don't have nothing to do with gang banging. But people, unless they get involved in something in the culture, some type of drug transactions, illegal trade, whatever, they doing some kind of business with them on that tip like that. But on the most part, gang banging is supposed to stay amongst gang bangers. It ain't supposed to affect all these other people. But now, the thing about gang banging is this. As I said, it is reckless. It is dangerous. And a lot of people don't realize what they signed up for. Once again, that's why the ratio is so high to the bust of the snitch count, because so many people get involved in this lifestyle. You don't know what you get yourself involved in. It look good to you. You want to be part of it. You know what I mean? A lot of people cannot deal with and go through as many near-death experiences that I done been through. I know people who done been through way worse, more near-death experiences than I've been through. this, it's a lot for one person, no doubt. Everything I done been through, I mean, I'm blessed to still be here. Thank, praise God for that. But I know people that have been through worse situations. Maybe not as many, but they done been in some situations that's some worse stuff that I'll be like, damn, you know. So we all got stories, Crips and Bloods, without, what I'm saying, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Tongans, whatever. Every gang member got stories that they done been involved in stuff. If you're really gang banging, once again, you got people that claim gang that's not really gang bangers. They just claiming it in traffic. They just see people wear the colors, this, that, but you're not really gang banging unless somebody try to bring something to you based on how you look. But to the average person, y'all see a lot of people and thinking these dudes is some gangsters, these niggas gang bangers. But for somebody like myself and people who really live that life, we know, dude, Buster, ain't no real gang member. Full ain't from nowhere. He was in prison. He was PC. He was this and that. But to the average eye on the outside, they thinking like, oh, he's the truth. He's the man. How many times have you heard somebody mention, all the homies that's been to the pen, how many times have y'all done heard somebody tell you, oh, you know, my cousin, he whooped the whoop, he was this, that, and he was that, he was a man, he was a hard, and then you like, oh yeah, I know him, and they tell you all this high power stuff about him, but then you know him as being a straight weenie in the joint. You're like, he was a straight buster there. You wasn't, come on man, you wasn't official like that. But yeah, that's gang banging, and that's another near death experience that I just shared with y'all behind the stuff that I done been through. Like I said, everybody got these stories out here in the city. I'm just putting mine out here. A lot of y'all got them, especially if you grew up in LA. I can tell y'all so much about the city, so much stuff that went down, but I won't speak on other people's situations. I just gonna speak on like, hey, what happened to me? Some things you just don't say. You just keep to yourself, you don't do it. And that's the thing a lot of y'all gotta understand. You part of this culture, you gotta learn how to keep your mouth shut and what you say and what you put out there. You don't put certain stuff out there in the universe to get yourself indicted or get other people indicted, because now like you didn't snitch, you didn't dry snitch because you didn't put his business out there in your song. How many people do that? You didn't put this whole dude case in your song. That's dry snitching. You didn't put this whole dude case about what happened to him, this, that, and the other, while he's still appealing and fighting this case in your book or on your YouTube channel. That can affect that case, because all they got to do is listen to what you said, listen to what he did, because you just told that whole story about that. So this whole gang culture, it's a lot to this, more than y'all think. It's not as simple as you think. It is, but it's not. It's codes. It's a way of life. It's the way you do things when you don't do things. There's a code of ethics, believe it or not. The gang culture have ethics. Yes, do. Yeah, believe it or not, people. The gang culture is a whole different universe, a whole different mind state, a whole different mentality. It's an addiction. It's crazy. I holla. Real quick, that life insurance policy, do not forget that. Colonial Penn right now got the $9.95 plan going on. $9.95 a month. Check out Colonial Penn. Get that life insurance policy. I tell you, get that. It's a trip because you listen to Kendrick's new song on that Heart Part 5. He mentioned something about that. He said car washes and all that's played out. He's saying that's that, you know, people getting killed, and that's that GoFundMe stuff. He tripped that on Part 5 of the Heart on Kendrick new joint. But yeah, need that, y'all. Let's get them life insurance policies. Let's stop these car washes, stop these GoFundMe accounts to bury somebody. Let's have what we need to take care of our business. Let's be responsible. Let's be responsible adults, regardless of what side of the fence you on. Learn how to be adults. Learn how to coexist. Let's take care of our business like adults. Let's be grown.